that I have to line up the camera first when I get started, and
Oh yeah.
so um, I closed the wrong app,
Oh, okay.
and then I shut you down.
It's
It's
fine.
the
This is
it's the
fine.
shortest episode of Utility Room ever. We have you going, yeah, and then it's done. Shael, is that? Am I pronouncing
Yeah,
it right? Is it Shael
you
or is
are.
it?
It's Shael.
Oh,
A lot of people call me Shael, which it's
that's what I
fine.
thought. I thought it was going that
Yeah,
way. Which is this is
it's
the
all
best
good.
way.
No,
No, honestly, this is actually the best way to go ahead and introduce you on the show tonight because I want
sure.
we're gonna see the name. Everyone's gonna see the name. They're gonna see it posted, and so this is gonna obviously
Yeah.
create a form of conversation. Am I saying it right? Right? Is it?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Of
Thank you. Yeah,
course.
it's typical to have my name mispronounced, and I'm just used to it. My whole life, it's just that's what it's been, me correcting people. And I have friends I've known for a while who still mispronounce it, and it's fine.
Oof. Hey, listen, I'm
It's
constant.
fine.
I literally just went through it where we had a booking come in, and even though it's right there in black and white, Jello was always in all caps. It still came back when the invite for the party was there that it was just capital J and then lowercase ELO. Uh,
Oh,
and
yeah,
my name is my initials,
right.
which
Oh,
is where that
okay.
came from. And
Hmm.
I had no idea it's a super common, popular name in South America and Central America. And so, like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
which cool, right? Except that it's really challenging to go out there and do shows or parties, festivals, anything, because people will be like, is that I'm probably not saying it right. Is it yellow or halo? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but is
Yeah,
it him from down the street? You know what I mean?
right.
What's he doing?
It depends, hey? If it's South America, likely they would be calling it yellow, I believe.
Okay,
The dialect of Spanish is different there versus Mexico.
for sure.
Um, like it's my name, like for example, my name, like if you would look at it in writing, I spell it phonetically, but that's not like how it is on my identification. So if you looked at my name, it would just look like Yale. Um, but in Mexico, they would pronounce it Yael, but in Argentina, where I'm from, it's Shael. So
This is magic,
and then
though,
here
right?
people would just say Yale. So it's just been, yeah, it's just the thing always with my name. But yeah, it's just Shael. But it's fine. You can call me
No,
whatever.
I want to get it right. Shael, I want to get it right. I think this is amazing conversation. This is incredible social icebreaker scenario where
Yeah.
you're meeting somebody for the first time, which is us right now, and having this. Here we are. We're minutes deep into the podcast and the stream, and it's like,
Hmm.
where are we at? Who are we talking with? There's no
Yeah.
surprise. Welcome, please, Shael, to the utility room. It's awesome to have you with us tonight. Where are we talking to you from? I know obviously know all the answers. I know the answers to these questions, but I've got to go through it. Where are we talking to you from?
Of course. I am in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
We've got some awesome guests that have emanated from this area of Canada,
Yes,
which
like
is
my good buddy Mark Grimace.
true,
Yeah.
and as well Kilma we had,
Hmm. Nice.
and what what is making this area of Canada so awesome and special to have that many
Hmm.
electronic music lovers in an area that you might immediately assume is I mean for an industry someone would say well that's not a good market, it's too small. And
Yeah,
I
it
think to
is.
myself, that's bullshit. There's that's small. If there's 100 people there, and there's clearly more than this. But if there's 100 people there, your hearts are pounding with
Yeah,
the love for electronic music and definitely multi genre. So yeah, so that's the question. What do you think it is about Winnipeg?
it's a good question. I don't know. I would say we have a small but mighty scene. It's difficult to say. I mean, we would, if you ask the same question to multiple DJs here, you'd probably get all different perspectives. So it's really dependent on your experience here, I guess, and your perceptions and your interactions that you've had with people here. But um, I don't know. It's difficult to say. I mean, I've often wished that I could be in the bigger city so that I could see the bigger headliners come through. But we've had a lot of great headliners come through here. We've had a lot of great shows, and we have a good local DJ scene. We've got a lot of wicked local DJs. So I don't know. I think Winnipeg, it's interesting because anywhere I've traveled, I've always found someone who's either from Winnipeg or knows someone in Winnipeg. There's always that Winnipeg connection. It's kind of funny. So I don't know. I feel like we're maybe just made up of a bunch of people from all over the place. I don't know. I mean, I've grew up here. I've lived here my whole life. Most of my life, I did live in Vancouver for a couple of years, back in my teen years. But I feel like when I was in Vancouver, that's kind of when I started to get my first taste of electronic music and just that desire to explore, go to raves. I always heard about raves there. I just didn't really have the opportunity. I didn't have friends who were interested in going. So it was always this sort of like magical thing I wanted to discover, and I didn't really know how to go about it because I was young. I was like 18 years old, 19 years
So
old.
what showed you the way?
But
What who held the ropes in Vancouver?
honestly, it wasn't until I moved back here. So, okay, when I was in Vancouver, I got finished high school. I was doing a bunch of movie extra work, and a lot of the movie extra work I was doing involved party scenes, bar, club scenes, and I was just doing like I was just background, right? Um, but I'll never forget this one specific job that I did. And in the extras holding room, essentially, you're just sitting around in a room waiting to be called to film a scene. And there were a bunch of ravers there, and they were so interesting. A couple of them ended up bringing some turntables into the extras holding room and started playing music. They were DJing, and I didn't know anyone. I was just there alone. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Holy shit. But I was too shy to approach these people and try and make friends, but I just grooved away. It was great. I remember specifically noting somebody wearing a necklace with a soother on it, and I was like, "Why is that? That's really weird." I didn't understand at all, but way too shy to approach or ask like, "Hey, can I hang with you guys? Where can I hear more of this music?" Way too shy.
So you just assumed that the
Um,
soother was like a fashion statement?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I had no idea the purpose of it. I know now, obviously. Um,
Is
yeah,
there a
so
utility room dedicated episode coming up about the soother?
or just like the rave attire,
The
the raver
soother.
uniform. So it was around then, and as well, like I just remember I was kind of getting into electronic music, but I just didn't know anything about artists or whatever. But I remember there was a on Much Music there was a show, Are You Receiving? And they had put out a CD, and they'd kind of play a little bit more obscure electronic music rather than as I feel like Electric Circus was a little more of like the accessible electronic music. I don't know. I mean, this was just my
You're blowing my mind right now.
impression
This
of
is
it
how long
when I
was
was
this
younger.
show on for? I've got to make
Oh,
a note of this. I know nothing about it.
this was oh geez. I mean, this would have been like 1997, maybe
Right.
98.
Wow.
Because yeah, because I was in Vancouver from 97 to 99. So yeah, I remember I bought the CD because they put out a CD. I couldn't tell you what artists were on it again. I'm sure I can look it up on Discogs, but so I loved. I'd go and take the SkyTrain to Vancouver, listening to that music. I'd go into all these cool little stores, and I just referred to it as the cool music they play in those shops on Granville in Vancouver. That's just what I knew it as. I didn't really know how to call it anything different, I guess. Anyway, so just like little tastes of here and there. I would hear about raves in Vancouver, but I mean, hadn't the slightest clue on how to figure out how to go because none of my high school friends were interested in that. I would just hear rumors about what raves were from
Was
like,
electronic
oh,
music
you break,
was sorry, was it because that music was like
yeah.
was this like the new punk, like the sneer, like, oh, we don't listen to that, like it's
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my group of friends from high school were mostly into like the hip hop music. And I mean, I certainly was too. That was sort of my jam back then. Like, I mean, I had my kind of grunge alternative phase in my early teen years and then got into more hip hop when I moved to Vancouver because all of my friends were really more into like the pop hip hop stuff. Um, but I kind of always had a soft spot for some electronic music. I just didn't follow it enough to know artists' names or anything like that. I mean, I certainly was exposed to a lot of it just even growing up. My parents were super cool and listened to all kinds of cool electronic music, like things like Depeche Mode, Bronski Beat, um, Art of Noise. Like, I remember some of those from being a kid.
your
I mean, I
parents
didn't
were listening to Art
certainly,
of Noise?
Yeah, like, they were just, like, super into music, so
Peter
I
Gunn,
just,
man.
like,
That's
I
that's the that's
yeah.
that's the single, right? It
Yeah, like, I grew up listening to
that's
that, but,
wild. That's
of course, as
that's
a
totally
kid
cool. I think the coolest parents ever.
yeah,
Right.
but I didn't appreciate it enough, of course, because as a kid, I gravitated to pop music. I mean, like, I think my first vinyl record ever was Mini Pops,
Right, of course.
so I didn't appreciate it as much, and I wish I had,
But pop
but just
music is the
certainly when I look
gateway
back
music,
now
right? Pop music is the gateway
right.
music for all music.
Of
Right.
course. Yeah, like, when I look back now, I think, "Oh, geez," like, I did listen to a lot of electronic music as a kid, I just didn't really make that connection until I really immersed myself more in this music growing up. Um, yeah, so basically, after I finished high school, was liking electronic music, doing the movie extra work, getting tiny little bits of it here and there, but never actually got to attend a rave there at all. It wasn't until I moved back to Winnipeg, in '99 I just reconnected with an old friend who was dating someone who went to these shows. And so I kind of went with them. And then I got a job at a call center, and of course, met more ravers because, of course, ravers were always working at call centers.
Was this a thing?
This was a thing here. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a lot of ravers working at the call center. And I
There's a
think because
there's a
the hours
stand-up
allowed
routine
you
there.
to.
I feel like there's a stand-up routine that could be made from something. Like it's taking me a
Well,
second to put it together, but it won't take me much longer. Yeah.
yeah, so I
How can I
kinda
help
just
you?
like, I started going to shows, like, just little shows. I didn't really go to a full-on rave yet. I was just going to little, electronic used to have a night almost every night of the week in Winnipeg, which is crazy because now, like I mean, of course, now, I mean, I when I say now, I'm meaning, like, pre-COVID times, of course. But, I feel like it's been a lot more difficult to get a regular night going here. It has to be a monthly to get enough people to come out. And
Why?
I don't know, and I don't know if it's just, like, my generation of partiers are all older, we all have kids, we have more responsibilities, and the younger
Sure.
generation of partiers, I don't know, I mean, I can't speak for them, but I feel like now with electronic music and it being so much more accessible, but, like, when I say that, I mean, like, there's this whole EDM music, right? So there's, like, the EDM festivals, you're hearing some of it on the radio, but it's not the same as the underground stuff that we kind of came up on. I don't know. It's difficult to say, but I feel like if I wanted to do a weekly house night, it would attract my generation of partiers, but it's not necessarily going to attract the younger generation of partiers because they might not be really into underground house music. I don't know.
Okay.
I almost wonder if it's something you have to sort of graduate to because I mean, I say this like when I started going to shows early, I mean, I didn't differentiate genres of music. It was just all like rave, like techno, psytrance, jungle, drum and bass, house. It was all just rave music, and I liked it all. Um,
I felt like there was three genres. It was house, techno, jungle.
like to me,
That
like as
was
a baby
those were
raver,
the
it was
that was
all
it.
the same. I mean, and there's happy hardcore. I loved happy hardcore. No, it doesn't really resonate with me now. So I don't know if it's just like yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to say, and I've
No happy hardcore for you in this time.
no, not now. I've gone through some phases, but definitely it's always been about house music for me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to say, and I feel like I mean, I can describe what I think would be a reason why things maybe not don't work now, but I don't like speaking for other people because I don't know. I'm just me,
No,
you
I
know?
mean, well,
Like it's
we're
hard.
talking to you.
I
That's
know.
what do
It's
you think it
hard.
is? What do you think it
I don't
is?
know. Like it's difficult to say.
I like your accessibility comment. I've talked about it before here on the show,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like when you're kind of younger
but
and
I'm
you're
not quite
just
sure.
like
No, no, no.
just like when you're younger and you're first being exposed to this music, you don't really know much about it, and the more accessible sounding electronic music is gonna be easier to gravitate to maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe super obscure electronic music like hard pounding techno or something is not I think it might be a bit more abrasive for people who don't know anything about the music, but again, I don't know, like, maybe someone who's super into metal music would actually really resonate with hard techno. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not sure.
Or dubstep maybe. Maybe
Yeah,
is that maybe what? Yeah,
yeah,
right,
possibly.
right.
Yeah, I don't
Who knew metalheads were so emotional?
know.
Who
Yeah.
You know,
So,
I thought that was like they were like, ready. Instead, it's let's hug and let's feel together. I was like, I didn't
yeah.
see that coming. I didn't see it. I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, but
I
honestly,
like
there was
I
no
like
turning
metal
back.
and dubstep. I'm not trolling. I
Yeah,
genuinely do.
yeah.
Like,
I
the
don't
weirdest.
sorry, go ahead.
No, what for?
I just wanted to say that like there was no turning back after I discovered this whole world of rave and electronic music, and as
It's a
I
vampire bite, right?
yes, totally.
It's a vampire bite. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I say bug bite, but it's only so that I'm not continually saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure the people I work with right now would say that that's terrible branding. So, I feel like one of the bigger reasons to head out to the weeklies was so you can know what was happening on the weekend.
Yeah.
Um, but it was also perhaps like a preview, if you will, of the music that you might hear on the weekend as well, because a lot of the nights existed during a time where there were no playlists, and it
Hmm.
was certainly not simple to go ahead to go and marinate on SoundCloud or Mixcloud or any of the other platforms that might be doing a form of streaming where a user can upload their content
Yeah.
and then get other users to check it out.
Yeah.
This wasn't really a thing. So to say that we passed around a hot mixtape, I mean, that's exactly what happened. I mean, if the tape was really hot, it was almost like you'd call up your friend and be like, "You need to mission to the store and pick up another copy because I can't hook up all of our friends. I need you to get involved with me to help the manufacturing
Yeah.
of some blank cassettes amongst our friends so that we can all have this mix. And if everyone had the mix, then that would be the conversation. It was the same as somebody having the same album. Master of Puppets, Metallica, or Appetite
Hmm.
for Destruction, Guns N' Roses,
Yeah.
whatever have you. The album, it was a discussion. The artwork was a discussion.
Yeah.
The album was tangible, and then the content was scoured over because the content wasn't plentiful. And then there was something that I don't know how or why I feel like Gen X and what came after Gen X? Is it Gen Y? Is that what it is? What's happening right
I
now? Is
think
this Gen
millennial came
Z?
after Gen X.
Okay. So these two
Yeah.
gens have like dog whistle trained when it comes to media, and so this makes sense for us, for example, to say, "Shh, shut up, watch the movie." Like you've done that before. You've made this gesticulation. You've said these words, or maybe not. Shut up. I'm more
Yeah.
abrasive than most people. So, but uh, or hey, stop talking. I'm listening to this song.
Yes.
Okay, so and I'm not quite sure if that conversation is really relevant right now with the way that all media is being consumed.
Hmm.
I'm guilty of this as well. I'm ultra. Firstly, the number one culprit is when I'm trying to find music that I would like to DJ. I'm sure you're in the same boat. Skip, 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 skip. Track's done. Did I like it? Yeah. Okay. I'll put that aside, and I'll deal with you later.
Yeah.
Or skip, skip, skip. That's not for me. Fuck this. It's gone.
Kind of, yeah.
Or,
I mean, if it's
or,
not resonating with me in the first couple of seconds, it's gone. But you know why? Because
so
there's so
this,
much more music now. It's different than going to the record store. And
but is
that's
that
what
not
I
how
do.
you shopped when you were in the record store as well?
When I went to the record store, I often smoked weed and went to the record store and then bought records that I
Good.
regretted.
Not good.
But the thing is that going to the record store was like
I've
I
been
loved
there.
the
I've been
social
there
element
so
of
many
it.
times.
Yeah, but the
So
social
many
element
times.
of record store shopping was awesome because you'd go and you'd see other DJs there and you're shooting the shit, talking, whatever. So it was, I don't know, it's a different time, but
But when you were
yeah,
auditioning the tracks, were you not taking the what I'm assuming was the tone arm if it was vinyl, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
I
yes,
mean when it wasn't vinyl, we stopped going to the stores, right?
right,
So
yeah,
right, so you're flashing through the vinyl. I mean I know that if I was lined up, for example, and I was able to be in a place of where I could get to the store
hmm,
that I wasn't working at, and go through the records, there would be a lineup of people that would be waiting to do the same thing that were not interested in what I was listening to, or maybe or were, and then I had to get through the stuff quickly because I mean you're only given like 5-10 minutes to be behind there, and it was like, all right, next.
Oh, so you had limited time. Yeah.
So you got, yeah, so it was limited. It couldn't just be like I'm gonna check out this record. I'm gonna really
Right.
check it out.
Yeah, I
So it'd be
guess
like, no, dude, you're not doing that right. Like
honestly,
that's not happening.
it's been a long time since I've been record store shopping. I mean, I did go when I went to Vancouver last year, just like right on the cusp of like everything shutting down for COVID. I did go check out Beat Street Records, and it was nice because I was by myself. I had no one waiting for a turntable, so I like leisurely listened to some records, and it was really nice because I hadn't done that in years. So it's hard
Wow.
to remember what it was like when I was a lot younger when we actually had a record store here. I think I maybe listen to them longer than I do now when I'm on, say, Tracksource or Bandcamp, but I it's hard to say. I was so young and it was so long ago. We haven't had a record store in Winnipeg. I don't know, since mid 2000s maybe. It's been a long time.
What about the other thing that I wanted to say was one of the reasons why that weeklies were relevant was
Mhm.
we didn't have the accessibility to the music. We talked about quickly how a mixtape was passed around, but just in general, if we wanted to listen to house music
Mhm.
on the radio, that wouldn't happen at 5 p.m.
No. It would maybe be at
We have to
midnight
wait
on the university
if
station or something.
we were lucky.
Yeah.
And I mean, the audience, if the audience was lucky, because whoever the DJ was that was running the show was for sure the station manager's face saying,
Mhm.
"Give me a shot."
Yeah.
Right? I know it's gonna work. And the station manager going, I don't know, it's techno stuff.
Well, see, this thing that I'm thinking of now is we had a lot of weeknights, but all those nights were in clubs during the week because those clubs would probably just have whatever regular club music on weekends. So during the week, that was sort of the opportunity to get those venues, to have those nights. On weekends, it was usually just raves, which were at warehouses, community centers, or whatever weird venue some promoter was able to secure. So, yeah, like
I feel like that's a coffee table book in waiting. Is all the lies that promoters have told venue owners before.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
we're filming a movie, documentary.
make it's a music video.
Yeah. It's a 10-hour music
It's a
video
friend's birthday party. It's
in
having
the
a few
middle of the night.
people.
Yeah, with
No
like
big deal.
500 people. Yeah. I miss those nights though. I think honestly just during the week I just like I want to go dancing somewhere and it was just nice to have that opportunity to do that. Because if it's a Tuesday night and I want to go and dance, it's in my studio at home. Um, yeah, so I miss having that, but I don't know, it's a different time. Different time. I don't know. We were all young at
Do
that
you
time. Like our group of people were young. I was like 19, 20. So,
do you feel a difference in your energy?
oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean,
How?
I'm in my 40s now, parent, full-time job. I can't stay up late anymore. It's difficult. I mean, especially after being home for a year and a half, not being able to go out, no festivals. Of course, I don't have the energy to stay up late.
Can you hold on for a quick second,
Yeah,
please?
for sure.
I'm happy we're pre-recording.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna have to be like an editing wizard afterwards. It's actually not that complicated.
All good.
Do you?
So,
So I was asking you about the energy because when something happens, let's say for example, you're getting an offer for a show that comes
mhm.
in, and the offer when you see it, even if it's to a venue that you've played at before, are you still like, woo, or is it like, cool?
It's difficult to think of this during this time where we're still not allowed events. So, I have to
Oh my gosh, you guys you haven't opened up yet.
no, we cannot. There's no dancing allowed still.
I'm
So
sorry.
it's difficult to get back into the mindset of pre-COVID times because this past year and a half has just been me streaming. That's been my DJ outlet.
So is this? Do you
Hmm.
feel like the transformation is permanent?
What do you mean transformation? Like,
Well, I mean, you feel like there's been a transformation in the vibe.
hmm. Okay, well, okay,
Yeah.
it's hard. I
Sorry.
mean, we're all longing to dance again, and I feel like pre-COVID throwing shows were difficult. I mean, I was throwing some shows with my friend, another DJ here, Elfast, and um, I feel like it was like challenging, like to get people out. Sometimes we'd have a great show, it would be packed. Others, not so much. I felt like the support was fickle and it wasn't consistent. And I feel like that's why weekly nights don't survive either. You'll get a good crowd out one week, and the next week no one comes. Um, so, and I don't know. I can't explain why. I mean, it's difficult to say. So, I often wondered during this, whole COVID time, if when we opened up again, that we would start to see more of that support again, because people would sort of appreciate what they didn't have. Like, you don't know what you got until it's gone. I don't know, but it's hard to say because we haven't opened up yet. So I don't know. Yeah, it's
Gosh,
difficult to say.
2 weeks ago I went and I did my first show in like 18 months.
Oh yeah, in Calgary.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, they're just
um,
wide open there, I think.
yeah. Like I was walking through my hotel without a mask, and I'm
Yeah,
saying that. And I know there's people right now that are going, "You're crazy."
yeah.
Maybe I was. I don't know. I'm not quite sure I'm not quite sure what I was thinking. I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
The 7 days after I came back home, I was nervous.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Like, so
um, you
they're not
know,
requesting proof of vaccination there? Like, I don't know how that works because here we have sort of
to be honest, I really don't know what is expected or unexpected down there. All I
well,
know
you
is
weren't
that
questioned, I guess, so it's probably not a
a
thing.
lot of people were in the lobby of the hotel and they weren't wearing masks. And I saw one of the staff members and said, "Are masks mandatory here?" And the staff member said, "Not for the guests."
Hmm.
And I thought to myself, when in Calgary, you know,
Interesting. No,
and so
not the same
and
here.
and I definitely partied while I was playing, having a really good time with everybody. Jumped into the floor in the middle of the set, danced around with everybody.
Oh, nice. Well, you had a great time though, right?
I did.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. Be like, well, it was worth it if you got sick. Be like, and
Well,
that was just it. Is that
yeah, that's
I don't. That's
I mean,
it's
I'm
like
it's hard. Like, I'm feeling a little less nervous about it because I'm fully vaxxed. I'm ready to go,
same,
ready to party. Um, I'm just waiting,
same.
but we have all sorts of limitations here right now. Like, people can go attend to patios and lounges, but if you want to sit inside with people, you have to prove that you're double vaxxed, and we all have like QR codes or cards where we can prove that we are. Otherwise, you have to
Uh-huh.
sit on the patio. But even if you're on a patio, you still have to be wearing a mask when you're moving around about the patio. Like, if you're going to order a drink or go to the washroom, or when you arrive before you get to your table, you have to be masked. You can take off your mask
I don't
when you get to your
understand it.
table.
I don't understand. And I
Yeah,
want to let you know I'm not a science nut. I'll say it again.
yeah,
I'm fully vaxxed.
yeah,
When I'm here, I wear the masks.
yeah,
Here,
yeah,
because I'm following the rules.
yeah.
I'll,
Those are
I'll
the
tell
rules
you,
here.
there's
Yeah,
there is a part of me that feels like I actually am doing it just so that someone else next to me won't freak out.
yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I don't know if I'm following the rules because I want to
Hmm.
so much as I'm following the rules because it's the right thing to do. There is the well, everyone else is doing it. You
Yeah.
gotta, and I'm making fun of myself at the same time, but I mean, because I don't live by myself. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'm on the I'm on the planet with all y'all too, and
yeah.
I hope someone's thinking like that with me. But when I was out in Alberta, no one was wearing the masks,
Wow.
and I'm not following the news and stuff, so I don't know what their case counts are at.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I stopped watching the news many months ago,
Yeah,
And
it's a good
I'll
idea.
tell you, I'm much happier.
It's good
I
for the
really
mental
am.
health. Yeah.
100% it is. Yeah, I mean, like some boat has capsized off the coast of Australia. I'm like, yeah, that sucks, but what the fuck am I supposed to do about that right now? Like, I'm in Toronto. Like,
It's been a
I can't.
lot. It's a lot of, bad news. It makes my heart hurt,
Right.
and then I get, antsy that because I
Yes.
wanna help and I wanna do something,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm
Right.
taking on this burden, and it is hard. I mean, it's good to be up to date with important issues, but also you need to step back away from the media machine because it's just it's hard, and it's you need to take breaks for your mental health because you need to take care of you.
For sure.
And, with
Have
COVID, it's
Have you
affected
done that?
everyone's mental health. COVID has messed us all up in one way or another. So, yeah, we gotta take it easy with that, I think.
Which was the
Yeah.
question that I was asking. Like, what do you feel like? Was there has there been a long term vibe or a feel or a change? And I asked you the question because I started by asking you, do you still have that same energy
Okay.
that you had from back then when you started? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to assume the answer is going to be yes, though. I mean,
yeah.
it was a bit of a rhetorical question. I can't imagine that we'd be sitting together right now and doing this if the music still didn't excite you
Oh,
tremendously.
well, see, here's the thing.
And
Like, streaming has kept my passion for this music alive, and it's kept me actively buying music, which I think is a good thing. I've heard, a little here and there, some DJs online hating on streaming, like, oh, live streaming is stupid. It's not, it should, replacing clubbing. I'm like, listen, streaming is a good thing because it's keeping us buying music, which in turn supports artists. I've discovered so many more artists in the past year and a bit. I've been buying more music on Bandcamp just in an effort to try and support artists more because I think that's super important. And that's not to say that everyone should, or I'm not trying to sound like holier than thou or anything. It's just something that was important to me. Um, but it's gotten me a lot more excited about music. I got to say, like around before this whole COVID thing hit, I was feeling slightly a little disenchanted with things, with DJing, with, I don't know, the local scene. I think we did a show in February. It was a super light turnout. It was a combination of that and just feeling like I wanted to be doing more. I also didn't have a lot of time to devote. But I mean, it's hard to say. Like it was a year and a half now, but I think the other thing is I had a great gig in Vancouver in December 2019, and seeing the love for the house music there got me thinking like, why the fuck can't we have this in Winnipeg? Like, why are like it was just so frustrating. I felt like it's just not the same energy here, and
what is
so
the answer to this question? You
I
do you have
don't
you
know.
have you have you you've sat down though.
I
You've
don't know
you've
what
been like
I
a
don't know what the
beautiful
answer is.
mind and been.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, and that's the thing. Like, do I send a survey out to people? I don't know. I have no idea. I should I do a study?
I mean, can you imagine? I want to say that actually might be really great promotion if you were walking through the streets of the peg and had a clipboard,
Yeah,
maybe a lab coat,
the
and
thing
and
is,
and you were like,
what's funny is that I think that some people, like people who maybe don't know much about electronic music, have this preconceived notion that electronic music
oh, it's been
equals,
fucking
yeah,
hijacked.
like and also like
Yeah.
electronic music equals like bad, like party, rave. Like for example, a girl I knew who was part of a restaurant that was being opened, and she was like, "Oh, it'd be great to have you come play some music in the lounge, but I don't know because my manager doesn't like electronica. They don't like that. They think it just attracts the wrong people. So I don't know, but I'll try and sell it." And it never did work out. But I was thinking, like I have a lot of really awesome lounge music that it's like deep house music. It's not like rave music. It's not going to attract a bunch of crazy people. Like it's the kind of music I would want to hear in a lounge. I always call it music that I want to hear at a lounge while I'm sipping on a glass of wine, like just deep house music. And that was one thing I just wish that I'd had an in on a lounge here where just like maybe a random Wednesday night or something like Wine Wednesday, perhaps, and just like a lounge gig, just playing super chill, deep house music. I thought, God damn, that would be perfect. I would love to have something like that because I want to be able to demonstrate to people that this music is not just like loud, abrasive, obnoxious music. But I think now with a lot of this EDM stuff, you hear about like EDC and those places. There's even people who do those little festivals here of just that kind of music that you'd hear on the radio. It's really like I don't like it, but I also feel very old when I say that I don't like it. It's very just like, I don't like the music that the kids are listening to these days, but that's
Are
just
you referring to slap house?
is that I have not heard that term. That's a
I
new one.
just learned about it because
Oh,
I just thought I
slap
didn't know.
house.
In fact, I wasn't quite sure what to call this sound. The
Oh,
sound that I kept hearing for the last feels like the last 2.5 years.
slap house.
It's like
Like, we need to sit
a
down and, like,
hundred,
listen to
hundred,
clips of
hundred
all
ten, 115 BPM, and yeah, and I guess the snare or clap or the combination of the both has got a super slap on it, and someone singing useless vocals about how they've lost something but they're about to find it,
useless
and
vocals.
yeah, yeah listen,
I've not
I'm
heard
just
this term.
saying,
I
and
wanna
and
hear
and
this
be like,
now.
come at me, bro. Like some of the lyrics of stuff that's happening right now, where I'm just like, I'm not going to say that electronic music has had some of the most thought provoking lyrics ever. Like
Yeah.
I'm still singing along to "I'm Losing Control," and those words are challenging. But I feel I don't know what's going on right now. It's almost like it's the lowest common denominator, and
Mhm.
that's what's getting pushed. But I don't. I mean, I don't like it, and I'm not part of it. And I guess the only time where someone's going to really hear me say any of this shit is on my own show. So
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
this is why I feel like that
everyone should like what they should like, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah, of
not. I'm
course,
not.
I
I
know.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I hear you, like, I feel like
I'm not trying to be like universally loved. Like I just don't
yeah,
feel like if you like it, like fucking like it.
I
That's
know.
great.
Like, I
Like it's
often
just
feel like
that's
such
not
a
for me. I don't have those
yeah,
feelings.
I often feel like such a music
Yeah,
snob when I say, like, "Oh, I like that," like, whatever that like, that kinda
I just don't
cheesy
have those
EDM
feelings.
music. I feel like that's, like, what your kind of entry level music is, and then you graduate to more underground music, which is terrible, and I feel bad and guilty saying that, but
No,
it's
you're
just
getting your. Oh, it's literally my next question. I was about to go there, and you're hitting it right now, which is what I was going to say is that I said earlier in the show that pop music is the gateway for all music. What is the gateway music for electronic music?
yeah, it's just EDM. I mean, you hear some of it on the radio
Well,
now.
today, but what was it when it was for you?
Oh, geez.
Like, was it? It wasn't Eiffel 65. It
Oh,
wasn't
no.
Technotronic, right?
No. Oh, geez. I
But
mean,
that would have been EDM, right? That would have been EDM then.
right. I mean, I kind of feel like just again going back to that "Are You Receiving" show on Much Music. I mean, that
I
was
gotta check
certainly one
this
of my
out. I'm
gateways.
fucking stoked. That's wild.
um, I mean, geez, even that same movie set that I told you about where there were DJs there, in the actual scene that they shot when they were all in a dance floor, they were playing that "Music Sounds Better with You." So they'd had us dancing to that, and then they'd have to cut the music while the actors were talking, and we're still dancing. But I that is one of my favorite tracks. I'm so glad I finally have it on vinyl. But one of my favorites, and it's like it's catchy and it was very popular, but it's great. Like that is house music, just good feeling. So that was probably a gateway for me as well, for sure. Oh, how about Spin Spin Sugar? That was one I heard in a club when I like one of my first bar experiences when I turned 18
The
there.
original or the Armand
The
remix?
Armand remix. Yeah. um, yeah, so definitely that, I would say. Um, but okay, so one of the first kind of all-nighters that I pulled back when I was 19 here, it was after just some random Wednesday night at this club called Wellington's, which is no longer. It was this dingy club. You had to go downstairs. Like it was my first time experiencing going to the washroom and having guys come in there. I'm like, why are there guys coming into the washroom? But that was just such a common thing. And I mean, now, of course, it's a lot more common because of the like gender neutral washrooms and such. But back then, I was like, what the hell? But people would just be coming in and out doing drugs, I guess, in the bathroom. I was still so clueless. But all the music in that club was so great. We had an all-nighter, we went to some after party, and in the car that I was being driven in, they were playing that, Freaky Flow, Obscene Underground CD, like the what is it, Tits it was called? Obscene Underground. You know which one I'm talking about. It's a classic.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it. I was just thinking. As soon as you said the title, I was like, would that title on that artwork would that work in 2021?
Good question. Because there was another one that was Balls, I think was that from Czech, I think? There was another one that was Ass.
Who did the
I
ass
don't
mix?
remember. I don't
Was it Flipside?
Oh, geez, I don't even remember. Maybe? I can't remember. I just
I can't remember
that
either.
Freaky Flow mix, I was like, "What is this?"
Legendary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that mix was
I
everywhere. Everyone had
fell
that
in
mix.
love.
Everyone.
Like, I was obsessed, and I remember asking this guy, "What is this?" He goes, "Freaky Flow, tits." I'm like, "'Kay." I set off on a mission to try and find this CD. I went to HMV. I went to our little, Raver clothing store where they you can get CDs, tickets for raves. I went there asking. I think where did I find it? I don't remember, but I found it in some music shop here. Oh, I was obsessed. It was like the soundtrack to my first year of raving, basically. That's
Awesome
yeah. Oh my
sauce.
god. So that was definitely a huge gateway because it just got me more and more excited about this world of rave and electronic music. And yeah, it was just amazing. I was enthralled.
Where would you say that you are at right now? I know that I mean, I want to talk to you a bit about the stream, but I'm going to save it for the end so we can get all the coordinates and stuff so we can catch you and check you out.
Okay.
But where would you say you're at right now? The pandemic, I want to say we're looking at that light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming at us
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's at least within a sight. You know, maybe
Hmm.
that's why we're all feeling, or maybe I'm just speaking about myself. I might say, oh, you know, the idea that I would walk through a hotel lobby without a mask and strut like the soundtrack of Saturday Night Fever is playing in my head. So maybe it was. Um, you know, because I cabin fever, exhaustion, tired, bullshit, fuck this noise, all that whole vibe, you know, mixed together in a blender. Uh, which is, I think that's where most of us are at in Canada. I think Ontario got hit pretty hard as compared to some of the other provinces. I don't know about the details of everybody. It was fucking miserable here.
Yeah, here too for a while. We were kind of apparently the worst in North America for a little bit during our third wave, but we got our third wave a little bit later than you guys, than Ontario and Alberta. So I think that's why it's
Are
taking us longer to open up again too.
are you running around right now scouting for venues for stuff that was retail that is now closed and that maybe you can pop into, getting together with different landlords or real estate
I
people, be
mean,
like, find me a warehouse, find me this. Because now's the time. I need to get this fucking done.
yeah, I haven't been personally yet. Just like right now, I mean, I haven't streamed in almost a month. I've been taking a break just because it's summer now. My daughter's off school. We've just been doing family things, friend hangouts. I mean, I just got back from a camping trip where I got to hang out with friends I hadn't seen in over a year. Um, so
Awesome.
that's sort of been my priority right now, but I definitely want to get back into the swing of things eventually for sure. I mean, I know that there are some talks of things happening again soon. Like for example, Nathan Zan, great DJ promoter here. He throws the meme festivals here. He is trying to plan something in September. So we're in talks with that. I'll be involved, of course, helping, likely playing too. um, and then, of course, I was chatting with Mark Grimace, and he's got the bug, and he's also looking into venues so we can do a thing. So it's yeah, I'm gonna start trying to put the wheels in motion. If even if we can just do a patio thing this summer now. I mean, obviously, we can't do a dance thing yet, but if we can just find a patio where we can play some music, get people enjoying some music, that would be nice. We did actually try to do one last year. We tried to do a version of meme last year on a patio. It's called the Beer Can, and it's just an outdoor patio where they serve beer and get other drinks. And it
Love
was
the
kind of
name.
yeah, it's great. It was socially distanced. So we did a meme event there, but of course it was like, rules. You have to stay seated at your table. You cannot dance. You got to wear a mask in between the tables. Kind of the same rule we have now. So we did the show, but what happens? You're at a venue with dance music playing. You cannot dance, but you get several drinks in you. Of course, you start dancing and you start breaking the rules. People were leaving their tables, socializing everywhere, dancing. They had to shut it down. The first time I've heard of a party being shut down because people were dancing.
Footloose.
So that proved to us that no, we can't do anything like this right now. It's too hard. You get some alcohol and people at a dance music event, they're going to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, it was an experiment. An attempt was made. So,
Good.
I know. Anyway, yeah, I definitely, I wanna start trying to The thing is, I think we need more collaboration with people here. I don't know if, again, it's hard for me to speak to, what exactly the problem is here and why we can't get more support or why we can't have more shows. But I feel like there's a lot of people that kind of try to do their own thing, but I don't feel like there's maybe enough collaboration. And I feel like we need to try and get everyone together more to collaborate and actually make things happen as a team. Because it's not like we're still kind of a small city. We're like a big small city. I don't know how to say that. Like, I mean, our population here is 700,000 roughly. I mean, we're not that small, but for whatever reason, the scene is kind of small. So I feel like it would be beneficial if more of us worked together as opposed to trying to be competitive, which I feel like there is some competition. And yeah, I don't know
I'm
what to say.
curious, what clubs are popping off? Not. I mean, you could say the name, and I wouldn't know what it is, but what is happening when I say what clubs? What's happening in the club that is packed or was packed before COVID?
Here's the deal.
Good.
There's no club that's dedicated to electronic music in this city.
No, I'm just saying,
That's the thing. It's
regardless of what it is, like it could be hip hop, it could be pop, it could be rock, metal, it could, classical, if that's if someone's got those feelings on a Saturday night, then yeah, what's happening? What is happening? What's working? Where a venue on a Saturday is like, yeah, throw that party here.
mm, it's difficult to say. I mean, I mean, the one venue I really enjoyed doing events at, it's like when you have to rent, they do all kinds of shows there. Like they mostly, I think, have bands there. Maybe the odd time they'll have a DJ event, but it'll be more of like a funk DJ type thing, not like a house or techno thing. So great venue. It's here. It's called the Goodwill Social Club. We've used that venue for a number of shows, and it's been great. But of course, it's a hard stop at 2 a.m. You can't go past 2 a.m. But they were great to deal with. So that was a great venue, but it's not like a dedicated. We don't have a dedicated electronic music. Like we don't have clubs like what do you have there? Nest. What's the big one there? Jesus, I can't think of it right now.
Oh, in Toronto, you
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's
Jeez.
dedicated electronic music.
Yeah, like what is that one that there's Jesus.
I'd say Coda might be the
Coda. Yeah,
biggest.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah,
That
we
might be
don't
the
have
biggest.
anything like that.
I mean, there's other venues that are in the city for sure that are double or triple the capacity of Coda, but they're not
Yeah,
dedicated to electronic. They might
right.
have electronic music events there, but they're not
Yeah.
dedicated venues.
Yeah, like there's just I feel like there's not enough venues who want to have these shows there. I don't know. And we have another popular place that is used for events. The rental fees are really expensive unless you can fill the place, and it's quite big. It's called the Pyramid Cabaret. It's old. I mean, it's one of the first places I ever
I've
DJ'd.
played there, I think,
Yeah,
3 or 4 times. I,
yeah.
I
I
know
think that's
I
probably
like
where
that venue. It's a good
yeah,
venue.
it's
Yeah,
good, but it's a hard to fill. And so there have been
it's
like
big.
yeah, it's big. There are a lot
It's
of
the
like
high
little nights.
ceilings, though, isn't it? The high ceiling. I at
Yeah.
least. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
there's high ceilings. Yeah. I
Half
mean,
my
it's
brain is still intact, and I can remember it.
It I mean, it's mostly known for bands, of course, they have bands play there, but there have been a lot of electronic music events there for sure. I've attempted to do a show there. It didn't work out. It's the rental fees are quite high, but if you can't guarantee a large crowd, then it costs more. If you can guarantee a good crowd, then the rental fee is less. Um, I don't know, wasn't my favorite place to deal with to try and make an event happen, but it's definitely been one of the more popular venues because they can also let you go late. Like they'll serve alcohol until 2, but you can go till 3, even sometimes it's gone till 4. So, I mean, it's a great place when it's packed, but I've gone to a lot of shows there when there's maybe 10, 15, 20, 50 people, even 50 people, it looks dead.
Yeah, 50 people there is not a good idea.
No,
That's not a good
even
show there.
100
No,
people, it's like, well,
that's
it's not
still, yeah,
that
no,
busy. So it's
yeah.
just it's difficult to fill. I mean, I have made played too many an empty dance floor there. I mean, it was my first. Also, it was my first actual DJ gig was there. And it's interesting because it used to be called the Spectrum Club a long, long time ago, and my dad used to play shows there in his band. So I thought that was also kind of cool. Anyway,
So it's a generational venue
yeah.
for performance.
So, yeah, and then we had another great
That's
club,
dope.
that we threw a show at called the Albert, which, I mean, it was a great club from back in the day, old school, like people went to see bands there, punk shows, and then it was closed for many years, and then it reopened briefly, and then closed again, and then reopened again. So it's kind of been back and forth. And then we did a Halloween show there in 2019, and it was great. And then the following week, it closed down again, changed ownership, and so I don't know. I don't know what the status was of it after, but it wasn't. I'm just glad we got in there when we did before it changed ownership.
Do you ever think to yourself that we're trying to operate and work out a scenario within a business concept that, I mean, it kind of suits us, but also doesn't simultaneously? I guess what I'm saying is this: is that, I mean, if you're thinking about a bar, the way a bar works and how a bar is profitable as a
Hmm.
business, there's just a few of those details that could be crossed over and related to what it is that we do.
Yeah.
And then after that, it kind of becomes its own thing. And if anything, the bar, the club, the festival has taken many of these ingredients that had nothing to do with what we were doing
Hmm.
and tell us, well, this is it too. Be like,
Yeah.
not really. Like, we used to go out and there was no booze, and the vibe of being drunk
Yeah.
wasn't welcomed. That wasn't a
Totally.
welcome. It wasn't a welcome vibe. Like, if you were like,
Absolutely.
"Oh my god, I'm totally loaded. I drank a bottle of gin before I got here. Let's rave." The crew that would be around you would be like, "Nyeh."
You didn't want to be around those people, the ones who showed up after the club to the rave
"Yeah,
with
yeah,
their
yeah."
homies.
I mean, we were doing these parties to get away from those people, which is
Yeah.
what I've been talking about for a long time. Is that,
Yeah.
and be like, well, everyone's welcome, and
I
the
know.
reality is, yes.
Yes,
But
but
I
I did
think
the
that there's
vibe.
the Gen Star rule. Do you know about the? Did you see the Gen Star episode of Utility Room? In which you had Gen Star on the Utility Room,
No.
and she's absolutely awesome. She said she had a rule at the door on how to decide who could come in and who couldn't come in, and the
Uh-huh.
rule was is that you cannot be an asshole.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Well, I feel
I
like
like
that
this
rave is about
a
accepting
lot.
everyone, right? But at the same time, I felt like,
Right,
well, I would side eye the bar stars that showed up because I didn't like the vibe that they brought in, right? Like I felt like they were
right.
there not to contribute to the community or the vibe. They were just there to consume it, right? Like they come, show up, they're hammered, they do their drugs, and it's just I don't know. I felt like they were just there for just the consumption, but not to contribute. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, we're all there. We're all getting fucked up, right? So I don't know if it has to be that deep, but I just did not like the vibe that they brought. I felt like it was just not conducive to what was going on there.
Right. It's and so I guess this is, it's funny that you said that, because here we go with, our date's coming to a close. I'll miss you.
Hey, we can always chat
I
again
am.
off
Of
camera
course,
or off. Yeah.
you don't. I mean, well, no, we're gonna have to.
Mhm.
We're gonna. I feel like we're not done. I feel
No.
like we're not done. You said lots of stuff here, and then I go and I make notes, and I'm like, let's do this again, and you know, I'm ready for you. Um, what are the rules of raving,
Oh, geez.
and are they an oxymoron?
Yeah, because there shouldn't be rules, right? I mean, it should be just like be yourself. Like it should have been. It's essentially the idea of it is expressing yourself and not giving a shit what you look like, accepting everyone as they are, come as you are. Um, like I feel like maybe people who felt like outcasts could feel comfortable there because it's not. I don't know. You're not being judged as much, right? Certainly, what is the like plur, peace, love, respect? I
Peace, love, unity,
Yeah,
respect.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you. My
the unity's big.
Yeah, unity, absolutely. Um, but so, I make these comments like, "Oh, I didn't like the vibe they brought in there." So that's me being judgmental and not being open-minded, and it's supposed to be an open-minded thing. So I don't know if it's maybe just me feeling a little bit more protective of what's going on and the vibe, and feeling like people who come in to bring this shitty vibe are not welcome. At the same time, everyone should be welcome, provided you're being respectful, not being an asshole, not coming and picking fights with people, which I feel like happens all the time at bars. And I think that's why I had kind of side-eyed seeing bar stars there, because I'm like, no, we don't want your kind here. It's terrible to
Well, you know
say,
what they
but
say,
you
right?
know, it's just you.
Instant asshole, just add alcohol.
Yeah, well, true, right? Alcohol kind of brings that out in people. But yeah, that's after the bar, there's fights, people getting into fights, or someone getting stabbed after the bar, whatever. Like shit happens. I've seen it happen many times. So, you see those people and you're instantly like, oh, we don't want that here. Like, we're doing good
Right.
here. We
There's
don't
no
want.
such thing as coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but then that's the thing.
let's
They
do
show up
this
there, they
math.
do some and then it's like, oh, never mind. Different story.
I understand this music. I get it.
Yeah.
I've created fire in my brain. Are you ready for the super hot seat?
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, I'm about to ask. So, I'll tell you what, I actually screwed this up right from the get-go. I mean, I'll shout it out right now. Before the show begins, I said the first part, which was, "Don't catch up with me."
Right.
Which, especially since we don't know each other, you might have been like, who the fuck, what,
Yeah.
and it's hard, because I'm not recording, and obviously the conversations that everyone's listening to on Utility Room, they're quite organic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
and I don't want to feel like that there's something mechanical to the conversation and someone's repeating themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I I had I'm going to digress real quick. I've had Demonic on the show 3 times, and there's undoubtedly a fourth episode that's going to happen
Yeah.
down the road. Um,
It takes that long to scratch the
I
surface.
No, with some people
Mm-hmm.
potentially, or there's a thread that gets opened and not closed.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring it up is that on the third episode, when we went to record it, my microphone was not engaged throughout the entirety of the recording, and so the
Shit.
recording that was captured just has him talking, which we can hear, or everyone can hear,
Yeah.
and then nothing from
Oh
me.
no.
And the very next night, I believe we did it again,
Mm-hmm.
and I call it was a really challenging and tough phone call for me to make, because I had to say I fucked up.
Yeah.
I made
Oh
a giant mistake.
shit.
I didn't engage the microphone on OBS, and
Mm-hmm.
now we've got a one-sided conversation. And it was a really emotional episode. At one point, I had tears in my eyes because of what we were talking about. Um, and then when we recorded the other episode after that, there was none of this.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm doing an almost a style of an advertisement. If you haven't heard Demonic episode 3, now's the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Get the episode. And it worked. Actually, the secondary recording worked out to be a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't remember why the fuck I started talking to you about any of this. It
Um.
sounded like a really good time, though, whatever it was. I mean, it's filled up about 60 seconds of airtime on the show with whatever it was I was just mumbling and ranting about.
It's
What a
fine.
host.
It's fine.
Um, Great. Okay, hot seat.
Okay.
All right. Which I like to put the guests into
Okay.
at the end. Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said you missed something in the
Before the
beginning.
show,
Yeah.
before the show begins, thank you.
Hmm.
Before the show begins, I always ask, is there something that you feel uncomfortable talking about? Because I wouldn't want to go ahead and start talking to something with somebody and then have them be like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
No,
Be like, it's like all of a sudden the show, it's like dead silence for a second while I go,
Oh,
oh,
okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm always happy
okay.
to talk about music, DJ stuff. I mean, I love it. I get excited about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't do that. I owe you an
that's
apology.
it's all good.
Cool. Thank you. So now into the hot
All
seat.
right. Feel like I'm in a game show or something.
Borderline, I mean, I try to be as enthusiastic as possible. Otherwise, it's let's talk about raving.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. 3 records. Yours. You know them. You love them. The records that never leave your box, your key, your scenario. The records that you use when the dance floor is in time. You need rescue me, rescue
Oh,
this
God
floor.
damn.
I know that these 3 records are absolutely amazing, or everything's going great. Set is amazing. You could play the Macarena or the chicken dance, and the dance floor is going to have a good time. but you still keep these 3 records because you know that even though everything's going great, it's an opportunity to turn it up even more. People are going to see how excited you are about these records when you're playing them. What are these 3 records for you?
God damn it. This is something I need to prepare for. Do you know why? Is okay, here, I have to tell you, and I'm sorry, we're gonna be totally venturing off here on what your plan is with the questions, but here's my biggest gripe with DJing today versus DJing back, you know, almost like this was kind of my 20-year anniversary DJing this year. So back then, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, is
All
that
right.
with vinyl, I had a smaller collection. I knew my tracks by the sleeve, the label on them. I'm not great at memorizing names of things at all. It's just not how my brain operates. I'm more of a visual person. So vinyl DJing was great. And then, of course, making the eventual transition to digital DJing, I'm acquiring music at a much faster rate than I was with records. And I have so many more tracks to sift through, and it's all by the track name, the artist name, and it is so difficult. I'll be playing a set and I've got in my mind, I'm like, shit, I want to play this track next. I don't remember what it's called or who it's by, and I'm like, fuck, and like I can hear it in my head, but I don't know where to find it. Um, for whatever reason, with the vinyl, it was easier to memorize that. I'm like, oh, I know which track it is to find it by label. So this is something I have to prepare for because I don't know. I would have to literally open up my record box and look through. I'm like, oh, which one, which one? Fuck. But I will tell you one. I pulled out a record here. I wasn't sure where this conversation was going to go, but I pulled out a record here. It was one of my first. It was my first Discogs purchase, where I paid uh, an excessive amount of money for this record. It's by Tim Deluxe and it's called I Know. So it's yeah, it's right here. Tim Deluxe, I know. I paid something like $70 for this record on Discogs because you could not get it digitally.
Okay.
What year is this from? I don't know. Well, this track's called I Know, but one of my favorites. Every time I play it, I go crazy. I still get goosebumps, and
I
it really
yeah,
does get people moving. Like
I
it's
want to hear it so that so that it'd be like, oh, I know this
god
track.
damn.
Um,
Yeah. I wish I had like could set up my controller. I think it would come. I don't know if it would come through the speakers. Oh, I didn't
no,
prepare that, but
we'll
yeah,
all visit it later. So, yeah, I mean, Tim Deluxe for
yeah.
me, it just won't do. Is I feel like was the
Oh
big one for
yeah,
me, maybe
yeah.
probably for everybody, not
This
just
one's
me.
from
I don't know
'99.
this song. I definitely want to hear it. So
Yeah.
keep the party running.
Okay. So love this one. Well, okay. I'm just gonna talk about this other record because again, I mean, I don't know what. Oh, geez. Let me get back to you on that. But here, I'm just another record I'm going to talk about. This was the track, the record that made me fall in love with house music. Okay, and I cannot fucking believe that I found it on vinyl totally randomly, and this is why I feel like this was the universe's message that I was on the right path in regards to just DJing and being involved in this music. There's no name on it. It just literally all it says is just house and the price on it. That's all. So
Have you Shazammed it?
um, no, but it's a remix of I wanna rock with you all night. But it's like a
Michael Jackson.
super fast house remix or like a bootleg basically of this because it is a bootleg. Because the other side is some
Okay.
weird bootleg of something else, like a Madonna or some bullshit that I would never play. But this track, okay, I went to a show here in I think it was early 2000 or late 99, I can't remember, and it was called House Heroes. And DJ Greg Norwood from Chicago, he played in Winnipeg a few times. And Wicked House DJ, old school house DJ, he played this. He opened his set with this track. Holy shit, I was like, what is this? And I was on the dance floor the entire set. Fucking went crazy. I left that show that night thinking like, I love house music. This is the best music ever. And then years later, after getting into DJing, I think I got this one in Vancouver. I think I found it because every time I went to Vancouver to visit family, I would find a record store to go shopping because I was like, I need records and shopping in Vancouver. So awesome. And fucking randomly pull this out, find it. I'm like, it's the fucking track. It's the track. Holy shit.
That's the moment, right?
Yeah, it was like, this is
Right.
like, it was meant to be.
Been there. Love it.
Yeah. Shit, now, god damn it, I wanna play this for you. I wonder if I should just, like, play it and, send you the clip or something.
Yeah, hit me up after
Yeah,
the show.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
you're in with two. I
Okay.
need one more.
Okay, one more. God damn. Well, see, all of my records here are older, right? Like, I don't really buy as many vinyl now, obviously. It's not, financially cost efficient for
I
me.
got to tell you something. It's been eating me up a little bit. I've got a bag here of I don't know 55, 60 pieces,
Yeah.
and I don't know where the fuck my 1200s are, which is killing me.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, yeah, and I think I moved. I think I put them in storage. I mean, because I haven't done traditional DJing really since 2006.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I still like to throw down
which
vinyl
is
every now and then, but with streaming, it's been great because it's been a great
it's
opportunity to
definitely been on my mind. I've been
rediscover old
thinking about it
music. Oh
lots.
god, it's been awesome. Like, just throwing down the vinyl set and just rediscovering old music again, and oh god, just
All
remembering
right,
why
where
I
are we
fell in love.
going? Where are we going?
Okay.
We've got this dangling thread here. I'd
Okay.
love to close
Okay.
into.
The third, Jesus, I gotta say, I can't think of it, so I'm just gonna pull out another record with a tiny little story behind it. This is another Discogs purchase, my most recent one as well. Also paid way too much for it. This is a record label out of Vancouver, and it's called Mood Hut. And where did I hear this? I heard Fred Everything play it. I opened for Fred Everything when he played in Winnipeg. I think it was like in early 2019, which was awesome because he's been one of my favorite DJs for a long, long time.
Fucking
I've
legend.
been playing his music since like 2004, 2005, I think. So
Fred, everything, Luke Raymond and Christian Pronovost.
yeah,
I mean, like
yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like are like the three DJs in Montreal. I mean, Tiga, obviously,
oh yeah, of course. But
without a doubt. I feel like Tiga became his own thing,
yeah,
in a variety of different Tiga's magic.
but
They all are really, but
yeah. So
still.
I heard him drop this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. It was not available digitally, and this was literally like the early 2019. And I was obsessed. I emailed the record label. They did not reply. They had the actual clip of it on their SoundCloud, but it was just a limited vinyl release. So I went to Discogs and I bought it. And it's called Better, and it's just this beautiful. It's a slower but really, really nice house track as well. And yeah, I every time I play it, I'm like, yeah, I don't regret buying this. I don't regret spending whatever. I don't know if it was like $80 or something that I spent on, or 70. I don't remember. I really have bought it like a year, almost 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah. Anyway.
I like that. I like that. It's reached that level of importance for you where you are being like, I know that this should be 15, $17, but fuck it, it's 80 and I'm still
Well,
going.
this has kind of been the thing with me in music is that when I find a track that I fall in love with, I'm obsessed and I'm like, I will do whatever it takes to get that track. It has to be mine. So yeah, I'll fall in love with music and then I start scouring the internet. And unfortunately, like I hate going on a SoundCloud mix and being like track ID and adding to the thousands of track ID comments. So I try to avoid doing that. I very rarely do that. I try and find it myself by whatever means possible. Googling, looking up other sets from the same DJ to see if there's a track list that they included that track on. I've done that many times. Like I just investigate and I try
For
and find it.
sure. It's like almost like you're singing the theme song to Indiana Jones in your head while you're doing
I
it,
love it.
being
Yeah,
like,
I just go on a mad hunt and then or whatever, listening to podcasts from the labels. Like I enjoy investigating.
where can we check you out? Where do we find Shael online? Where and when?
uh, well, I mean, I don't like doing the social media thing very much. I have to say, I'm a little anti. Like I deleted Facebook over a year ago. I don't have a website. I've never really been into the whole like have a website,
Why the
have a
Facebook
brand.
delete? Was the Facebook delete, was this a form of uh joining the rebellion?
Mm,
Was it
no, it just wasn't serving me. Like it
you're like
was
fuck Facebook?
it was stressing me out. And of course, this was during like see, this was what April maybe of last year. So of course, with all the COVID hysteria, um, I don't know. I feel like Facebook sucks you in so much with drama. and shitty news. And for whatever reason, I find Instagram isn't as bad, although I've taken breaks from Instagram too. Social media in general is just not my thing. I don't love it. I don't like I feel like you're just having to fake shit all the time. Um,
Are you not getting that vibe from Instagram? Are you not getting like within I
I mean, I do sometimes, and
maybe
that's
it's
why I
just
take breaks.
okay.
Yeah, I do. I take breaks for sure, and I
I
try
feel
not
like
to
if
go
I
on it.
did four thumb scrolls on after the fourth scroll, that fifth scroll, like if you will starting over on the
Yeah,
scroll number
yeah,
one, it almost matches like whatever that first post
yeah,
was. Like I'm literally finding Instagram right now to be same same
yeah. I'm not
same
loving it,
same
and
same
I don't
same.
post on it often either. I've grown to really just hate the whole like the today's world of like DJs promoting themselves on Instagram and social media in general, and the whole just like all the fake promo, like the promo photos and this and that, and like the million hashtags. I've just been such a hater when it comes to that shit because I just feel like the early days of me DJing, none of that shit was around and it didn't fucking matter. I don't
Do
know.
you think that the algorithm is does the algorithm hate us? Does the algorithm it's like,
No,
oh, today
I
I'm
hate
gonna
the algorithm.
piss you off.
No, I hate the
Right,
algorithm.
you know what I mean? Like the algorithm is your friend. And sometimes I think to myself, like, the algorithm is the Terminator. You know,
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah, of course.
there's fucking
Yeah.
Skynet in my phone, and
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
I'm here to make you
Oh
miserable
yeah.
today and show you a bunch of stuff you
Yeah,
don't want to see. And
absolutely. It definitely caters the feed to you, I think, and like what your habits are. It figures out your habits for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I
so
try to
this is I'm a glass half full guy. Why is it filling my feed up with a
uh,
bunch of shit I
yeah.
don't want to
Oh,
see?
I know. And the
I
ads
feel
are so
like it's
bad
the same
too.
thing with YouTube is the tutorial. Like, yeah, I'm either being offered like a MIDI course and telling me to up my music game, which is for a second it was giving me a form of anxiety. I'm like,
Mhm.
like I drift off for a second, like, do I suck?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
You know,
definitely. Like making you
you know,
question your reality. Yeah, so I try to take breaks. But yeah, I am on Instagram at Shael DJ, Shael DJ. I'm on Twitch, although I haven't been in a few weeks, but I do I'm itching to play again. It's been a little while, so I'm gonna hop on sometime this week. I've been playing on Saturday nights, along with my husband. He DJs too. He plays drum and bass. So we were sort of doing a back-to-back thing. He would play and then I'd play. We had our own channels, but we share the studio. So
that's awesome.
we started doing the regular streaming in October and we kept it for 8 months. So we just took a break, like the noon basically, because summer's here. It's our daughter's off school now. We can do things and trying to sort of devote more time to that now because it was different when we were just stuck in the house all the time, right? So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/Shael DJ as well. And then SoundCloud. I want to start posting more mixes again, but also soundcloud.com/DJ Shael. So that's me on the internet basically. Just SoundCloud, Twitch, and Instagram. And I do have a Facebook page, but I haven't posted like an actual like an artist page, but I haven't posted it in a long time. I don't know when I'll post on it again.
Never.
Never. I don't know. Maybe.
Never.
I mean, I realize that I should be using it more of like a as a like a promotion tool, but sometimes I just don't give a shit either about promo. I just
You
like
know,
to play music. I don't know. I hate playing the game, the whole like the promo game. I've always hated it. I think that's added to why I was feeling so disenchanted prior to COVID hitting was just there's a lot of fakeness in this industry and it just wasn't resonating with me, I guess. I just didn't feel like I wanted to play the game of like, oh, I'll follow all these people to get them to follow me back so I can increase my follow count. Like I just I just don't care. I just want to play music. That's all I care. I like music. I want to play music. I hate all the other bullshit that comes with it. So call me a hater, I guess. It's
no, no,
just
no, I'm not. I think we've actually just there it is. That's the second episode. So no, it's definitely it's a deep conversation that I would really enjoy having with you. If you'll have me. I
sure.
mean, hopefully you don't feel that I was a terrible guy with
No,
you
no,
today.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I've ranted about this many times, so I'm happy to
You
rant about
ranted.
it again.
I ranted too. Oh, you mean
Like about this. Yeah,
outside the
yeah,
show?
yeah, yeah. Just
Yeah,
about
I
like
felt like
my.
I was the digression master with you today. So no, I'm
Yes.
concerned. I'm going to go back and watch the episode. I'm like, did I screw this up?
No, it's all good. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a pre-planned thing. Like you said, just an organic conversation. And it's our first
Yeah,
time
I think
meeting, so thank you for
okay.
inviting me.
No, thank you for being here. It's absolutely awesome having you, and really great meeting you. And I enjoy many of the opinions that you shared, and I agree with lots of what you said. I think accessibility has definitely changed the way that we're all consuming music,
Yeah.
movies, TV,
Oh, totally.
all of it.
Yeah.
All of it is just everything. Everything is changing. We're in the midst of change as well. I
Yes.
feel like the blockchain and NFT has really just scratched the surface of what it is that we're going to be getting into.
Hmm.
I feel like every time we make a meme, we're taking IP and it doesn't belong to us, but we take it, we can use it, and that's okay. But
Yeah.
if we want to go ahead and take a piece of music and add it to a story post on Instagram, that can get blocked. We're not
Yeah.
allowed to use that.
Oh,
So we're okay to reward and remunerate content creators on one hand, but we're not okay to do that on the other.
oh
And
yeah.
and I want to get into it with you and for sure talk about with you
Yes.
uh, the next time, which
Yeah.
is great. And also again also with what you just said with the action and advancements that
Hmm.
need to happen uh, to be out there
Yeah.
as a performer. I'm not quite sure if this is really just associative with DJing. I feel like this is, whether you're an actor or an actress,
Hmm.
yes, music, uh, any type of media style performance, having a presence online
Hmm.
is
It
essential
is.
if you want to step outside of the box that you're in. If you're okay with the box that you're in and you want to, and you're like, I can be in my box, I can be outside the box, it can be both, it can be not, I don't give a shit, I'm doing
Hmm.
what I'm doing, then all the whole conversation becomes irrelevant.
Right.
And here we go. Back to my ranting and
Yeah.
raving.
We
I
could
think that
just
you're
go
absolutely
on and on.
awesome.
So
Literally, I mean, it's what I worry about the butt cheeks. That's what I worry a lot about. I worry about if someone's sitting down, is their ass getting tired right now?
yeah, and I just
And
finished my
if
sitting job all day because I'm working from home right now. So
right, and I stand. I stand. I do. I
yeah.
do the show standing. That way, I can do a little bit of pacing and walk around. So if someone's watching the show, they're like, "Where the fuck is he going?"
Yeah,
Be
I
like, "I'm
have
over
a
here."
standing desk
Not
in my
anymore. I'm
office
back.
upstairs, but I just felt more comfortable being in the studio.
Yeah.
I like the lighting in here better.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
sharing
having me.
everything with us. We're
Cheers.
gonna definitely have you back, Shael. Super awesome sauce, utility room. This is the place that we're at. My
Mhm.
name's Jello, and you are totally fantastic for tuning in with us tonight. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things that make the room go boom. And we will see you next week.
Cheers.
Shael, don't hang up.
All right.